All right, hey everybody, Alan Tyler here. I am leaving to go to Italy in 5 days. It's Wednesday, I'm leaving on Monday, going with my best friend Andy, and I've talked a little bit about this in a previous video, just the trip itself. We've been talking about doing this trip for years, and I wanted to use this as a point to kind of chat about this idea called lifestyle design, which I'd heard about and first read about a year and a half ago. And since then, I've kind of been focused on taking small steps toward that. Now, for me, it sort of means the freedom and flexibility to go, I think that to go where I want to go, when I want to go, and to do what I want to do. Now, that makes it sound really glamorous and like this absolute, like totally freedom, do whatever you want all the time lifestyle, which it sort of is, but they're inherent in that is that you do have a source of income, a work schedule, a work structure for something that works for you. And the idea is that you get to design that. Not only are you designing all the fun stuff that you get to do, but you also get to design the way and the type and the amount that you work. So I've been working on it. I think I first read the book, The 4 Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I think I picked it up last January or so, and immediately was like, oh wow, like this is what I've been looking for, just as a framework or sort of a guideline. And at that time, I had 2 employees at my shop, and I was still working, if not 5 full days at the shop. I was there 5 or 6 days a week for at least a partial shift for a couple hours. So it was still like, that was really commanding my time. I had just started doing some yoga, I think was about the only other extracurricular activity. Oh, yoga and my drum lessons. But outside of that, I basically went to work, did yoga sometimes, and practiced the drums. That was it. I didn't go do things, I didn't go on vacations, I didn't take trips. I'd managed to sneak out for an occasional camping trip here and there, but no more than a night or 2. So that was kind of the beginning of 2016. And from there, I started working on finding ways to take additional steps, to be able to have a little more freedom, to step away from being required to be at the business all the time. And it's taken a lot longer to get to a point where I feel comfortable going, cool, I'm gonna leave for Italy for 3 months or 3 weeks. But I do feel comfortable with that, and I feel like I'm there, but that's taken a year and a half. So kind of the first big step with it was getting some additional people hired for additional, hours coverage so that I didn't have to be there as much, as well as automating some of the systems that I had there. For many of our deliveries, somebody still had to show up and write a check for all of the kegs that we got delivered, which was usually me because I live really close by. So I started figuring out how we could automate that for most of our beer deliveries, as well as sort of auto payments for different regular bills and things like that, as well as delegating tasks of going to buy trash bags or paper towels or just little random things that we need more of at the shop. And so the first real weekend that I got away was actually Elliot's bachelor party last June. That was the first time that I had taken 3 nights away and over a weekend away from the shop, which was, at that time, it was really, really scary for me to do that. I was like, ooh, I don't know. And I kept trying to check in, but also not check in and like leave my phone alone. I actually don't have a lot of pictures from that weekend because I intentionally didn't have my phone on me for as much of it as I could, which was a really good feeling, but it was also like, again, still kind of scary. And I kept on worrying that every time I'd go back to my phone, it was gonna be like something major had happened. Unfortunately, nothing happened at all. Like it was fine. It was a great weekend. And then that granted me the confidence or gained me the confidence that I could, okay, take some time away. So then later that summer, it was in July, I took I think it was 6 or 7 day road trip with Andy. We went down to California, did some camping, saw the redwoods, saw Crater Lake, got to the coast a little bit. Really, really cool trip. And again, I'm gone for a week, but I did check in a couple times, found a Starbucks or whatever, found a coffee shop to check on some emails and things like that. But again, I was kind of worried about it, but I'd set up some systems and structures in place to make it work. And then at that point, it was really, for me, it was like, okay, I can do this. I can, be able to go take some of these trips here and there. So then after that, it kind of opened me up. I was like, okay, I can go do some more trips. So I got to go to the beach over the summer with my family for a day or 2. Got to go camping to Hosmer, our yearly trip, for a couple of days. And then in September, got to go to New Orleans with my mom for 4 or 5 days. I think that was kind of it for trips last year. I should look back through to see what they were, because I know I got to take some really cool ones. New Orleans was one of the big ones. I feel like I went somewhere later, but no, I don't think so. And then so far this year in 2017, I've gotten to go skiing a couple days, not overnight trips or anything. But I also got to go to Hawaii to visit my buddy Scott for over a week, which again was super, super cool. Just got to go up to Seattle for the weekend for Ryan's bachelor party, and then I'm leaving for Italy in a couple days for 3 weeks. So outside of that, I don't have any additional trips planned for this summer or the rest of the year. I sort of wanted to see how this 3 weeks in Italy felt and went, but I do want to take some more trips over the summer, and I do want to build that flexibility into my lifestyle to be able to continue to take trips like that, but also take trips or be able to work for a couple weeks from somewhere else, not just a pure vacation trip, but if I could go, live somewhere else, rent a house for a month somewhere, and make sure to explore and see the place that I'm staying, but also use that as my base for working with a laptop and a cell phone, hopefully not working 8 hours every single day, but being able to check in and do some of that from there. That's really what I'm working toward. And I don't exactly know how that's going to work out, like what the details are going to be for it, but that's kind of my vision. And it reminded me this morning, it's a really sunny day here in Portland, and it reminded me that I absolutely love sunny days. Like the gray, drizzly days that we have sort of through long winters here in Portland, they don't bug me at the time, but it reminds me as soon as we get another sunny day, I go, oh wow, yeah, like I was not in the level of mood that I can be at when I get that jolt of sunshine and have the sunshine to stick around for a few days. So what I want to do is this fall, probably November, December, is be able to take a week to go somewhere sunny, Southern California, somewhere along the southern part of the U.S. Go to Hawaii, or get out of the country and go to the Southern Hemisphere or something like that, just for like a week, kind of once fall has set in around here, and then in January, February, try to take a longer trip to somewhere sunny, preferably 3 or 4 weeks. I really want to go to Bali or Costa Rica or Australia or New Zealand. Or the Philippines, maybe Southeast Asia, but just to really get out of Portland, out of Oregon, out of the Northwest for an extended period of time to sort of re-soak up some of that sunshine. But again, not necessarily if I could take it as a full, just total vacation, that would be great, but I'd be totally fine if I could just go, be somewhere else for a couple of weeks and be able to work and continue having a source of income from that. So that was kind of the inspiration for this video. And a big part of that is right now, like my current business, I think it would be really hard to do that. I need to grow the business, and it's also being a retail-based physical location business. Somebody always has to be around, and a big part of the success of this business so far has been my presence up there. So it's definitely harder, which doesn't mean it's impossible to be able to take that and be able to go somewhere else while it's still operating here. But ideally, I would be able to have that and also some additional sources of income, whether it's doing freelance work, whether it's doing some kind of sales, whether it's finding another way to sell things online, just doing part-time jobs here and there. I don't know what the right solution will be, and it'd probably be a combination of those, depending on the situation, the scenario, the time of year, where I'm at, all of those things. And it's one of those things that I think it makes sense to have multiple sources of income, not just putting all your eggs in one basket kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm working toward. I do want to try and take a trip somewhere at the end of this year to somewhere sunny, as well as some road trips or camping trips this summer, and feel comfortable and confident in being able to leave my shop in the very capable hands of my employees during that time. So again, this whole topic was sort of on lifestyle design, like trying to find what's the life that you want to live, and how can you make that happen? So for me, I want to be able to be anywhere in the world that I want to be, not necessarily tomorrow, but with some planning, to be able to go see those places, but also be able to work and generate additional income while I'm there to support the fact that I'm there and whatever other obligations I have back at home. But again, for me, it's basically not being tied to one, specific place, physical location, and specific set of hours that I have to be in one place. Is really my goal. So that's just kind of some thoughts and ramblings from my brain on this beautiful sunny day, and yeah, we'll see what the next year brings. So thanks for checking it out.